Hi, my name's Jessica, and I wanted to explain the second version of keeps ints, because some of you may have trouble discerning what it really wanted you to do. So it's a bit different from the first keep ints, and in the first keep ints, you put all your code into one function. But now this one is different. So let's see what it does. So implement a function keep ints like before. But now it takes a number n, so we can see that n, and it returns a function that has one parameter cond, right? So then, what does that mean? What happened to all the code that we had for the previous keep ints? Okay, so let's push that code aside for the time being and focus on what the problem wants us. So they gave us the first clue. It returns a function that has one parameter cond. So I know that somehow I want to return a function, right? Okay, well, I don't see any function that they gave us, so you're kind of thinking, hey, maybe I should write my own function, right? So then let's write this new function. So def new keep ints. Okay, so to every function, the thing that you want to complete it now, after you get the name, is the number of parameters, or what parameters that you have. And thankfully, the explanation tells us is a function that has one parameter cond. So then we know that this new keep ints has the parameter cond to it. So we finished the signature, so all that's left is to write the body. Now, before we forget, let's finish this return statement. So remember, we want to return a function that has one parameter cond, which is our new keep ints. So that's how we return the function. And if you notice in the docstring, it really makes sense because you see keep ints 5 is supposed to return something, right? And then the last thing is we see paren is even. So that means this keep ints of 5 does return some sort of function that gets called with is even. Okay, so now if this was the part that you had trouble with, I want you to stop the video or pause it now and finish up the rest of the problem. I'll explain in detail how to do the rest of it, but I think this was the main difficulty of this problem. Just the idea that you need to create a new function and return it. So we can see that this keep ints is another example of a higher order function because it returns a function. So pause. Okay, so assuming that you've unpaused the video, let's finish the rest. So let's see what this keep ints does. What this new keep ints is supposed to do. So we return a function, new keep ints, that takes on one parameter cond and prints out all the integers 1 to n where calling cond of I returns true. So in our docstring, keep ints of 5 that returns a new function is called with even. So then we go through the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is even? 1 isn't even, 3 isn't even, 4 isn't even. So that's why only 2 and 4 are printed out. So if you're having trouble writing out the code for that, so when you have trouble writing out the code for it, I always recommend you to try to solve the problem yourself by hand, like how we did now, and try to generalize that to code. Well, what did we have to do? I had to go through all the numbers 1 through 5 and then call is even on it. So I repeated calling this process is even on it. So that means I do need some sort of while loop. Then this while loop has to go through every number, right? Okay. Well, I need somewhere to start. I need to start at that 1, right? So I'm going to say that my current number to start at is 1. And then I went through numbers 1 to 5. So once I reach that nth number, when my cur is equal to 5, I do that one, and then afterwards I don't do any more. So inside this while loop, we have to fulfill this condition that cur is less than or equal to n. So less than or equal to n. Okay, so now we go inside, let's do it inside the while loop. So let's say we take a number, this 1, right? What do we need to do? We need to call cond with it. So if cond of that current number is true, then we can print out that number. So print cur. Else we don't want to do anything else. Else we don't print it out. So that's why I had it inside of an if condition. Because in order to print out the number, it had to satisfy cond. So we print it out, and then for all numbers, we have to increment it. Because when I'm at 1, I somehow need to get at 2, right? So that means I need to add 1 to cur. So then when I iterate again, cur is now 2. So then if cond of cur is 2, so and let's say cond is even, I'm going to print out 2, but now I need to increment my 2. So by the next loop, cur is 3. So then that's how the function, how you get through all the numbers. And this new keep ints, it does not need to return anything, so we can just remove the return statement. And Python will implicitly know that we're returning none. So now this is the code for keep ints and new keep ints. I guess a bit of styling thing is that you could have also said if cond of cur equal to true, right? This would have also worked. But try to determine which version would you wanted, because we will also want to focus on clean code. So is if cond of cur equal true, or should we just have cond of cur? In most cases, it is better to have the shorter version, this if cond of cur, because you know cond is gonna return some truthy value or some falsy value, and you do not need to check that it's equal to true. So when other people see if cond of cur, they're gonna know that this cond is gonna return some truthy or falsy value. So then that's why we prefer the shorter version. Okay, that's it for this problem. If you have any more questions, just post on Piazza or on the YouTube link. And also, if you didn't get this function, I would also encourage you to redo this whole problem, because it's only when you have to actually do the problem that it forces you to think versus listening to me. Okay, that's it. Bye.